Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It is Let's Talk Mondays, where we talk to you on the other side of the weekend. I am your host, Sherrie Roberts, and I am so glad to have another show. And of course, we're actually doing a retake of the show that we premiered this Monday, June 23rd. But this is information that you can take with you as long as Let's Talk Mondays is around. So be sure to stay tuned for today's show. Now, again, I want to invite you to order a copy of my book if you have not done so. It is on Amazon, and the name of the book is simply called 21 Ways to Bless, even if you're broke, even if you don't have the money that you'd like to do many things. You can take what you have, your time, your talent, your treasure, as I've heard others say, and of course, be able to be a blessing to someone. So, can you be a blessing without money? Well, yeah, you can. And you can find significance through creative ways to help others. This book is available on Amazon. It's a workbook, very tiny workbook, but you can write in it and also share it with others and be a blessing to someone. Well, today we have an amazing guest, and her name is Miss Simone Graham. She is representing the Fatherhood Pride Initiative program here in Jacksonville, Florida, and in the surrounding counties. She deals with child support navigation as well as other case management services. And we welcome Simone Graham. Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk
Hello.
Mondays.
Hello.
I think we should say hello again.
Hello again. Yes.
Well, we're going to talk today. We're going to continue the discussion we
Okay.
had. We're going to talk
Okay.
again, maybe reiterate on some of the questions that we did ask.
Yes.
And we also want to give a big shout out to Miss Kathy DuPont, who is responsible for me connecting with you. And also, we're going to be talking to Ms. DuPont in the future. But today, we want to start out talking about fatherhood pride. We did talk to Mr. Barry Dukes before, and he gave us some information about the program. But today, you're representing yet another leg of this.
Yes.
Let's talk about your role with Fatherhood Pride. Tell me more about this program.
So my role with Fatherhood Pride is a case manager, and I'm a case manager under the Comprehensive Needs of Fathers. It's called CNF for short. That's what we give it. This program allows us to be able to work with fathers that need assistance with child support navigation. So that can go into anywhere from custody orders, submitting custody orders, from revisiting or renegotiating their visitation orders. It can
Mhm,
go from um, reestablishing custody. It
mhm.
can go anywhere from even finding a child. So it just varies from case to case, and it's very important when I sit down with my fathers to kind of figure out what they have going on. I like to really start from really childhood with them to
Right.
see exactly where their parent skills are at, because we also do parenting classes. That's a requirement of our program, to actually give parenting classes to these dads, because sometimes it's difficult being a father, and
Right. Right.
sometimes knowing the right way to be a parent and be a father. So you look at the dynamics kind of how they were raised, and you kind of
Mhm.
try to figure out if there's what guidance you can give them. So it definitely helps to start from that beginning, and then just following through with adulthood to see exactly, when they became fathers and what type of time were
Right.
they at in their time span, their lifespan, what is required of them now to complete being the best dad they can be.
Right. This sounds like a really good program. I guess understanding the history that they bring and what
Yeah.
stories they have behind before becoming a father, I'm sure
Yes.
is
Yeah.
very, very helpful.
It is.
There may be a young dad out there that is challenged. They may fit this category. Maybe they have some challenges with baby mama drama or what have you. Before we get into the next phase of our question, what should a young father do if he finds himself in this case? What are some practical steps that he could take? Say, for instance, he doesn't have the cooperation from the baby's mother. What are some practical steps that they can take to start their journey to improve and
So,
be a father?
so one of the main topics that I like to talk about in our 24/7 dad parenting class is
Mhm.
communication. Communication is a big key with any type relationship you have. So
Mhm.
trying to focus with them on that communication with the other parent is something that I like to do from day one with them,
Right.
because that makes all the difference in the child's life.
Mhm.
We focus here on our main goal is infant mortality, preventing infant mortality.
Mm.
So letting that child get from birth to that first year.
Right.
So a
Right.
lot of times communication is an issue. So talking to them about how they can reiterate things in a different manner,
Right.
um, avoid confusion, avoid, situations that will cause either themselves to get into a dilemma, or
Mhm.
the other parent to get into a dilemma, and even the child being there seeing these situations. Sometimes
Right.
it's not good, so just trying to figure out how they can just navigate and make the situation better for themselves. Sometimes
Mhm.
with dads, I see in a lot of cases where I have
Mhm.
dads that they really don't know how to deal and cope with their issues, or cope with things that have went on with them in childhood. So communication is a big issue. So a lot of
Mhm.
times, with these type parents, I will set them up for counseling, so that
Right.
counselor
Right.
can guide them and talk to them about how they can cope with those emotions and feelings, and not somehow come off in a negative manner to others, or that spouse, or that other parent.
Right, right. Those are some very good tips, and communication is very important in
Yeah.
most transactions. And so I'm
Mhm.
sure that some of the programs that you offer help men to navigate through these
Yes,
personal storms, if you will. That's
exactly.
why programs like your programs are around so
Hmm.
that you can get the help that you need. I'm going to
Hmm.
show them right quick the
Okay.
flyer that this program offers several programs. You've heard Miss Graham mentioned some of these programs, and we want you to reach out to this organization. We're going to give you the information about Fatherhood Pride. And one of the other features or other programs that you address is one that you just mentioned, and that is infant mortality. Now,
Yes.
many times, infant mortality, usually we address moms with that, but dads are a part of this as well. Tell us, how does this program address fathers who are grieving either through the loss of an infant or loss of a child?
Well, I want to give an example of one of my fathers that I'm previously working with.
Mhm,
He moved to Jacksonville
mhm,
a couple of years ago. And sitting down with him, I realized that he had a lot of issues that he was dealing with presently, because before moving here,
mhm,
about 5 years ago, he lost a child. And sitting down with him, and as soon as he mentioned it, I could see where the hurt was still there with him. So as I
mhm.
was sitting with him, I immediately stopped, and I immediately asked him if he needed to speak with someone, or he needed help with grief.
Right,
And he said
right.
it's still very hard for him still to take care of the 7-year-old child that he does have right now.
Wow.
So, starting with that, trying to get him into grief counseling was a struggle, because of him not really understanding how and what he needed, but
Right.
eventually getting him over to that and dealing with the grief
Mhm.
was a big help. And
Wow.
it's just the change in him and his behavior, just the change in his emotions is just,
Mhm.
it's really rewarding to see exactly, how he's now dealing with trying to cope and be a parent to his other child, and deal
Wow.
with child support issues with that child. So just starting from there, dealing with the grief, knowing how to get the grief counseling,
Right.
just knowing how to help these dads in that way makes the difference. And it helps with even saving the next child's life.
Right. Wow, wow. That's so important
Hmm.
because not only is the father affected, but the ones that are attached to him, the other children.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we talked about women, and we talked about baby mamas. How can women, or how do women play a role in helping fathers, especially while they're working, the fathers are working with you? How can the women be cooperative and helpful? I'm sure there's some women out there and they're like, but you don't know, you don't know. How
well,
can women be instrumental in helping
well,
dad become a
sometimes
better dad?
sometimes we do have dads that are in a marriage situation, or either they're divorced from another spouse and they're with this current spouse.
Ah,
So sometimes it's a dilemma with those situations as well. So we have to kind of bring mom into that as well. So we do have a parenting class that includes moms,
mhm,
and it helps them focus on working together and knowing how to cope with some situations that might come up, and dealing with a lot of this, because sometimes it's child support with other children that
right.
are not in this current marriage, or it's either the two collaborating on being better parents, and how they can focus on their communication and their parent skills together. So it just, every situation varies, but we do have situations that does involve two parents, and I've had several of those as well. I've had even court cases where I've sat in, and I've had some disgruntled parents, and
Oh
just
my.
trying to figure out how to deal with that father, that mom, just trying to get them on one accord. And I've had other agencies come in and try to help, like Hubbard House,
Mhm.
just help both parents see eye to eye, because sometimes it takes other entities for these parents to come together.
Right, right. And I'm sure it doesn't just stop with the women, but also are families important? If there are grandparents, if there are other extended family members, even, church members or people that kind of know the person, are they helpful in helping dad get
So
it together?
I'm glad you brought that up, because we do believe in a support system.
Oh, great,
My
great.
background in DCF, I have over close to 30 years dealing with DCF,
Mhm,
and I've been in investigations from adult to child. And
mhm.
I have fathers that come in and they have case plans, so they have to meet case plan compliances. So they have a what we called you have you have a case plan, but you have someone that is over, or a person that oversees the case plan, and it can be a family member, it can be someone
Oh,
that
wow.
is helping you through this situation, is making sure you're following this case plan. That person will be there with your visitations. That person will help you out with transportation, or sometimes they're just there to be that support when you can't pick the child up, or you can't be at these appointments, these doctor appointments or medical appointments. They're that person that will be there, that steps in and that helps. And a
Right.
lot of times with court, that's a big thing. Um it's a very enlightening thing for the courts to see that you have that support system.
Right,
Mhm.
right. I'm sure that those all of those pieces is what it takes sometime to
It does.
all for the child ultimately. I'm
Exactly.
assuming that that is the case
Yes.
where our children are getting everything that they need. We're
Absolutely.
dumping out the bucket of help
Yes.
so that
Yes.
that child can get everything they need to be at their best.
Yes.
So we appreciate these programs. I tell you, Jacksonville and in surrounding counties, you have no excuse. This program is right here in your
Mhm.
region. The website, I've just posted it for you to take a look at all of the resources. Ms. Graham has given us several ones she's spoken of, as well as what they offer. And if you have questions, I'm sure you can go to the website. And if you want to reach out to me, I will get the information to you so that we can get you to your best place in life,
Yes.
especially when it comes to families. It's a
Yes.
very important thing. So I thank you so much. And last but not least, we've got to talk about this amazing barbecue that's coming up. And those of you that may need a break, sometimes dads need to learn to spend a little quality time. And this is one way that you can meet the individuals that can help you get to your road to success as a father. So tell us about the event that's coming up. And I'm going to actually help you out with a little advertisement of this
Okay.
flyer.
So right now, I want you to be aware. I forgot Miss Roberts to enlighten you and tell you that we've actually changed the date for our infant mortality awareness barbecue. Um,
Okay.
it's a barbecue that's hosted by Fatherhood Pride.
Okay.
We actually, this is our seventh annual barbecue. So
Uh-huh.
what we do is we bring dads out, and their families, and bring the community together, a community organization, and we show tribute to dads helping them realize, how them being a parent helps prevent that infant mortality. So we have an infant mortality display.
Mhm.
We actually have a contest with the dads where they barbecue, and it's a cooking contest. So we have judges where they can win prizes for, the best first place, second place, third place.
Uh-huh.
We
Mhm.
have games, we have family group activities, different things that really help, these families come together. We have vendors out there.
Uh-huh.
So if you need some type of resource, we have people out there that may be in situations, and these vendors might can help. And
Okay.
so it's a very enlightening event.
Mhm.
And it's something that I am so excited about. This is my first time. I'm so excited about it. And
Awesome. Okay.
it's going to be amazing. So that date has changed to
Mhm.
July 19th now.
Okay, July
Yeah,
19th, that's a Saturday.
it's a Saturday, and it's at A. Philip Randolph Park, and it's
Okay.
July 19th. Yes.
All right. So it's going to be the same time.
Same time from
Same
10.
time.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we've got a date change, and that
Hmm.
date is the 19th of July. You
Yes.
definitely want to participate in the barbecue and the infant mortality barbecues awareness so that
Yes.
you are learning about some of the things that you can do to hopefully prevent or extend the life of, or whatever you need to do in order to help your child to get through those uh, particular times and seasons in their life. So
Yes.
certainly we are grateful for this program, and we're grateful for you, Miss Simone Graham,
You're
for coming
welcome.
on with me here on Let's Talk Mondays, where we
Yes.
talk to everyone on the other side of the weekend.
Hmm.
And we wish you the best. Thank you for your information. And
You're,
again, if you want to talk to anyone regarding the programs, and there are several programs that are offered at the Healthy Start Florida. You have no excuse, Floridians.
yes.
You can get that information right on the website that's on the screen. Thank you again, and certainly wish you the best.
Thank you.
And for those of you that are still tuned in, be sure to join me again on Mondays at 6 p.m. for Let's Talk Mondays. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
You too.